Hello everybody and welcome back to Future Girls Part Whatever. Where we left off, we had a interaction with Leona in a either hot tub or jacuzzi or something like that. I don't really remember, but we left Ariel in the dust because, I don't like her. But here we are. I assume this is part 6, but I've stopped counting at this point. I don't really care what part it is. We deliberately choose a karaoke bar that the women don't know about, finding one far from their usual stopping grounds. We still have to be careful about not leaving too much of a footprint in the past, though maybe I should have reconsidered that before I took them out to sing on a stage. What kind of drinks do they have here? I have to be drunk before I get anywhere near that stage. They have the same kind of drinks here as they have everywhere else. Just get something fruity and go with it. What are you gonna have, Drew? I don't care. Probably just a beer or two. I don't drink beer. Or coffee. What? No, you're gonna be way too sober. You can't be allowed to remember any of this. You have to drink more than that. Truth be told, I don't have much experience with alcohol. I've never had the time. True, I also don't have that much experience with alcohol. Partly because it's also bad for my health now. A beer here and there to take the edge off is about all I've ever ventured into, and now doesn't seem like the time to get bold and start drowning strong drinks. I'm gonna take it easy. You women can do what you want, though. Just, if you're gonna get blackout wasted, please only pick one of you. I don't think I can wrestle both of you if you're both under the influence. I need backup. Leona shrugs mildly. I can always handle my alcohol. I'm usually the babysitter, so it's nice to have someone on my side for once. Do you drink with women in the future? Or do I drink with... What? Do I drink with you women in the future? Of course you do. We all work together, and if anything will drive people to drink in solidarity, it's the workplace culture. Cheers to that. Ariel raises her fruity drink to the night and takes a sip. Her eyes flutter happily. The women giggle and have me constantly sip on their drinks just to try them, but before long my head starts to buzz a little. Finally, the karaoke machine comes to life. The lights on the small makeshift stage turn on and the patrons gather round. You have to get up there with us. Wait, what? Yeah, it's no fun without you. No. In every vision of this that played out in my head, I was watching the women have a good time from my seat at the bar. In no way was I meant to get dragged up onto the stage with them. I don't think I can sing either. You're not voiced, so it doesn't really matter. Well then, you'll make Ariel feel better about herself. Yeah, you have to come up there with me. Sacrifice yourself so I don't die of embarrassment alone. I stare at the stage. What's the matter? Are you shy? Aren't you? Everything I thought I'd gotten to know about Leona in the last few days has suddenly flipped on its head. She taps the clear drink in her hand. Not with this, I'm not. Ugh. I turn to the bartender and order one myself to the exciting cheering of the women. They wait for me to finish it, but which takes longer than I like to admit. It feels better going to my head than it does to my stomach. Let's go! Well, we can't be first. Wait for someone else to go up there and embarrass themselves. Then we can follow their act. Leona giggles at me. So, did you just want us to go up there and embarrass ourselves for your entertainment? Yes. I mean, when you put it like that. You're terrible. She swats my arm and I grin guiltily. It's not my fault. I just wanted you all to have a good time. I also wanted to have a good time, but I thought I'd do that from here, not up there. Nope. I can tell you've never sung karaoke. I'm taking your virginity, Drew. Excuse me, I'm here too. We are taking his virginity. Fine, but it was my idea. What are you talking about? This was all my idea. We're getting tipsy at the point of losing all sense of our conversation, breaking equally into laughter and arguments. I don't expect to be a giggly drunk, and I'm embarrassed that I am. I can feel the embarrassment. I just can't do anything about it. The laughter is bubbling in my stomach, and I can't put a stop to it. Finally, when the woman hauls us up to our turn on the ominous karaoke machine, I'm too drunk to feel ashamed. I look at the sea of blurry faces, none of which I recognize, and take the mic that Leona hands to me. Ariel picks a song, which, of course, is a romantic bop readily heard at any middle school prom. Leona is working the crowd in a way I would never have expected. Her quiet demeanor has drunk itself into submission, letting a new, bolder, and less coordinated Leona move freely about the stage and talk openly to strangers. So much for keeping a low profile. If I were sober, that would be a concerning thought, but drunk me just laughs at it. We're all idiots. Sing, 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 sing! Ariel slides up next to me, intent on sharing the mic. Leona has her own. It's a train wreck from the first note. Ariel and I start at different moments. Leona takes off with the song, drowning us both out. We charge through the song full of savvy romantic notions and false notes. Oh, thank goodness I don't have to read lyrics. When we stumble off the stage to a mediocre applause, Leona takes a dramatic bow and Ariel goes to try it for a kiss. She misses my mouth and sobbingly makes out with my cheek, but it's still worth it. Ugh. I hate you both. You love us. I hate you. What have you done to me? My head feels like it's floating 3 feet off my shoulders, but it's not an unpleasant sensation. I don't know how many songs we sang. Probably 3, but it felt like a whole album. Like we were playing an entire set for the drunk karaoke audience. A couple of people even joined us on stage, although thinking back, I have no idea who they were or what they even looked like. Everything is a bit of a blur. We walk home, all of us trying very hard to appear sober, which likely makes us look all the drunker. I hate you. Did I say that already? You did, but you love us. You love this. This is how we should have gotten you to relax yesterday. Just pour some alcohol down his throat, and he limbers right up. That's not true. I'm not limber. You are. Aren't you? Maybe limber isn't the word, but I can't think of the word, so limber it is. Well, it's not limber, I can tell you that. I bet I still can't do a handstand. Try it. Yeah, try it. I bet you can. No, I can't. The women crowd around me on the sidewalk, eagerly expecting me to try a handstand I've never done before in my life. And in the typical fashion of a drunk male standing in front of 2 women that he wants to impress, my dumb half-drunk ass tries it. And I barely get off my feet off the ground before I go sprawling against the sidewalk. The women laugh happily at my immediate failure, but I stand up victorious. I told you so. My turn, my turn. No. Leona grabs her, laughing and pulling her out of the way of some other pedestrians who are trying to get by us on the sidewalk. We can't. We're making a scene. Drew isn't drunk enough to forget all of this by tomorrow. We shouldn't traumatize him too badly. We want him to look back on this fondly, not like a war flashback. Or we could find a place to get him drunker. My wallet votes no. Well, that settles it. Come on, let's go home. Though Ariel whines about totally being able to do a handstand herself and just needing a chance to prove it, Leona's moment of clarity guides us back towards my house. I missed the street we're supposed to turn down 2 different times, and Ariel almost stumbles onto the road after tripping on a sidewalk. But somehow we drag our feet into the right direction for long enough to end up back at my apartment. We all collapse onto my couch. There's a different energy being drunk in your house versus being drunk out in the world. All the spontaneous vigor we've had before is drained away here, replaced with easygoing relaxation. We're all winding down. Ariel reaches for the remote, but it's an inch from the tips of her fingers, which is apparently too far to move. I don't need the TV anyway. My mind is playing back the night over and over, trying to cement it into my very fallible memory. What? So we're all just going to accept the fact that Leona became some kind of karaoke superstar back there? Is that just... we're all just cool with that? Ariel grunts. I guess it'll be weird to you now since you don't know her, but that always happens. Alcohol brings out the attention-seeking whore in me. I had a really good time tonight, which is weird. I feel like I need to say it now since I might have a different opinion on all of this tomorrow. Only if you overthink it. Getting drunk and letting go is my favorite after-work activity. Ariel shakes her head. See, that's why I live by the philosophy of just letting go all the time. You don't need a little alcohol to have a good time. But the rest of us are trying to blend in with polite society. Oh, that. Ariel wrinkles her nose cutely. Overrated. So are you. We settled down together, the conversation now spacing itself with long pauses. There's a ridiculous giddy feeling in my chest. I want to blame it on the alcohol, but there's something else, too. A chance to go out and have nights like this with a couple of friends. Ugh. I wonder briefly what day it is, but I can't remember right now. I just know that we're approaching the end of the week. The women's time limit is almost here, and I don't want this to end. They should just stay here forever. Screw the timeline. I mean, why is that not an outcome? Why do they have to go back? Just have a three-way between all three of you. It's great. When Ariel falls asleep on the couch, I carry her into my bedroom so she can sleep the same way she always does, with Leona and me crammed into the same bed. At this point, I don't think I can sleep comfortably without a bunch of limbs and hands poking around me throughout the night. I've gotten too used to it. When we wake up in the morning, our good spirits from the night before are significantly dampened, and I think When we wake up in the morning, our good spirits from the night are significantly dampened, and I think throwing up sounds like a romantic idea. I just can't bring myself to do it. That doesn't sound like a romantic idea. The women are quieter this morning, too. We're all suffering the consequences of our choices, but the general attitudes seem a little sadder, too. Are you women okay? I'll live. Ariel stretches out slowly, showing her midriff and drawing my eyes. Whatever we did last night, we should do it again tonight. Except for the singing part. I didn't like the singing part. You sounded fine. And that's how I know you were very drunk. You did get a little overboard, though. I don't think you drank much of the time. True, I've definitely seen him drink more and handle. I have a little dirt right at the handle, so it looked like Bandle. And handle a lot better than that. I blushed nervously at my inexperience being called out. It's not fair that they know me in the future where anything could have changed. Must have been an off night, or maybe you women just weren't keeping count. I keep count of everything, even when drinking, especially when drinking. It's usually up to me to make sure we can make it home after all. I'm not that clumsy of a drunk. You tried to take an Uber last night. We didn't order an Uber. It was just a random car on the side of the street. Anybody is an Uber if you're cute and polite enough. That's how you get kidnapped. Leona shakes her head in dismay. Anyway, I expect the women to ask what they're in for today, but neither of them does. The general mood feels heavy and oppressive, like something's weighing on them. Then it dawns on me. The numbers click inside my head. This is their last day before they have to go back. Or before one of them has to go back. A hard knot forms in my stomach. What am I going to do? If I turn one of them away, it's going to break their heart. If I turn both of them away, well, that's just more damage. Suddenly, all I want to do is sit around and chew on my fingernails trying to figure this out. There's no way to fix it. There's no equations or formulas I can consult to give me the right answer here. The heirloom seemed very interested in breakfast, even though we can all use a bite to sop up the remaining alcohol in our systems. So, I guess we're all thinking about the same thing. Leona nods quietly, but Ariel shrugs. If you guys are thinking about our favorite sex scene from a movie, sure. Oh, hush, we all know what you're thinking about, Ariel, and for once it isn't that. Well, we can't just sit around being miserable all day. We have some time left, shouldn't we make the most of it? Of course we should, yes, but we should also be preparing for tomorrow, and by we, I guess. She glances my way, and I realize she means me. I need to be preparing for tomorrow. I glance down at my shoes, feeling very put on the spot. Poor women, both of them are completely at my mercy. I choose you. Well, we've got to know each other a little bit, I think, over the past few days. We've been on some dates. How effective they've been, I'm not sure, but it's a nice preliminary taste of a relationship, but it's still just a week. Ariel acknowledges this bitter truth with a sigh. A week is enough. I feel very confident about our compatibility. Don't you, Drew? It's like the stars aligned. I blush faintly, not sure how to answer and spare everyone's feelings. Oh, I have an idea. I know what we can do today. A no-holds-barred competition down to the wire. Me versus Leona. Eh? What kind of a competition? A wife-off. What? A wife off? Yeah, each of us compete to be the better wife for the day. That way you get a taste of what we'll be like as wives and just not how we're on dates. That doesn't make any sense. Being a wife is a long-term commitment, something that has to be held up over time. You can't just break that down to a single day. Sounds like someone's already off to a disadvantaged start. But no, I'm not. Leona quickly straightens up, folding her arms over her chest. I'll be just as good as the wife as you. Better, in fact. I've got this in the bag. We'll see. At the end of this, Drew has to choose which of us has to be the better wifey. Is that a thing? I had a friend who I was in a fake marriage with, and she said that I should call her wifey as a nickname. I didn't think that was a real thing. Because she would call me hubby as a joke. But I don't think wifey is a real thing. Is it? Am I mistaken? I'm not consulted on my opinion on this arrangement, which seems a little weird and over the top. Instead, the women, hop up and get to what I assume to be their wifely duties. But I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, so I decide to sit and wait and see what happens. One of the best decisions I've ever made. Leona takes to cleaning my apartment, which, admittedly, has been neglected over the past few days. With 3 people living here now, the trash piles up quickly, and we've been too busy enjoying ourselves to do much deep cleaning. But I'm not thinking about a clean and orderly apartment when Leona is doing the cleanup in an apron and absolutely nothing else. My heart skips a beat as I watch her. Where does she even get an apron? Do all wives just come with aprons? Are they standard issue? My gaze follows across the room where she slowly bends over in front of me to pick up Ariel's shoes. My heart is hammering against my throat. This is how wives do housework. It's no wonder they accuse men of never helping out. How am I supposed to do anything but stop and stare at her like this? Oh. An uncomfortable heat settles in my stomach. My gaze locked onto her body as she struts around my apartment with a provocative sway of her hips. A soft cough attracts my attention, though, pulling my eyes away from Leona. Oh boy! I can't show any of that. Why is Ariel the one with the most sexual outfits? I can't show any of that. Okay, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. Ariel draws my gaze, looking at me with those big come-hither eyes. She scoured one of my shirts out of the drawer, unbuttoning it along her body so I could see her breast beneath. What breasts? She doesn't have those. The way her legs spread, it's almost like an invitation. My mouth goes dry. This is much of a different approach from Leona. Looks like Leona and I have very different ideas of what a man wants around the house. So funny too, since she always paints herself as the big feminist between the two of us. But look at which of us is going to be sweeping the bedroom and which of us just wants to be swept off to it. You look like you want to go to the bedroom. Leona overhears this and gives a quiet moan as she reaches for the broom. Oh, making her so suggestive motions on the handle. My hair is going to explode. I don't know which, but one of them is going to burst. What's the matter? Wife got your tongue? Ariel leans toward me, beckoning me with a soft finger to come to her. The water in the sink starts running, and Leona presses herself against it, proudly presenting her ass as if waiting for me to slide up behind her. So which is it, Drew? Who is making the best impression? Okay, we're back to not censorship. I could not show anything that Ariel was wearing. Oh boy. What the hell am I supposed to say? They're both making an impression evident by the obvious tent in my pants. I can't do this, but I have to. I have to pick one of them or they're never going to stop teasing me and I'm going to go insane. I can't decide. I mean, I can easily decide, but why is this an option? I have to pick one of them or they're never going to stop teasing me. I can't decide. Duh! Leona. Oh boy! Oh boy! She turns around, laughing delightedly at my choice. Ah, I knew there'd be something to the dutiful wife stereotype. Ariel sulks. I feel bad for having to choose, but she stands up looking embarrassed. I don't hear what she says as she leaves. Something about changing and maybe doing some laundry or something. But I know she's embarrassed. I watch her go, my stomach feeling tight and uncomfortable. I put the tamper on things right up until I turn around again. Leona drops her apron on the floor, bending over the counter as she feigns doing the dishes. I can feel her watching me in the reflection of the kitchen window, her eyes playful and eager. Come on, haven't I earned it? I can't say no. I slide up behind her, hastily unbuckling my pants. She groans, grinding her hips back into me and rubbing her plump cheeks against my stiff erection. That's what you want to come home to every day. Oh, is this what you want to come to a home every day? A clean house and a dirty wife? My body throbs with a definitive yes. It's such a change from her usual attitude that feels like a whiplash. How can someone so proper and put together have such a naughty, seductive spirit beneath the guise? She is just as horny and desperate as I am. By the way, if it looks like I have no reaction, I'm just bending my eyes going, oh boy, at the realization that I can't put this on YouTube. Well, I can't put this picture on the YouTube. I'm trying to make this not age restricted as best as I can. Although, maybe some of the dialogue might get it age restricted. If it's age restricted, I apologize. I am trying my best to make it viewable for everyone. It's definitely not safe for children. 100%. She spreads her legs as she bends over the counter, and I come up behind her, sliding between her thighs. She groans as I meet the tight, white heap between her legs, rocking herself against my hips. The relief is blissful as I thrust into her from behind, over and over, the rhythm of my hips immediately frantic and hungry. I would put sound effects in, but that would make it age restricted. So, let it be known that the thought was there, but I can't. Also, side note, what you're probably seeing is her with the apron on. She doesn't have an apron on, and Drew is behind, giving her, let's call it the Heimlich, in a way. She grounds. I mean, it's kind of blatantly clear what's going on with the dialogue, but full disclosure. She groans loudly, not bothering to be quiet here in my apartment. I wonder suddenly about the thin walls. Never have I thought about them before, but maybe the neighbors can hear. Let them hear! Oh boy. If I was a neighbor, I'd be listening. The sound of our bodies meeting the fills of the tiny kitchen. Her limbs twist for a moment, bracing herself one moment, then clinging desperately to the edge of the counter. Her knuckles are white, outlining the tension in her body. Cry after cry falls from her lips, growing from whimpers to genuine moans as I heave against her body. The plush curve of her ass. The plush curve of her ass moves in a rhythm as I take her from behind, changing the angle slightly to move faster and harder, plunging toward that indescribable bliss. Her body seizes up, fights against the inescapable end. She tightens around me, the hard spasms of her body clenching as she nears the finish. She pushes my button. I can feel it in the motions of her body. The next cry from her lips is different, vulnerable. Her breath staggers, and then she cries out loudly in a desperate peak as her body tightens hard around me. The last spasm hits. I pull out at the last moment. In a spurt of her jiggling backside, draws another wanting moan from her lips. We both stand at the kitchen counter, locked against each other's bodies as we regain our breath. She groans with a deep and satisfied sound. I've never been so excited by the thought of housework before. I laugh breathlessly at the end of and bury my head against her shoulder for a moment. Finally, I reach over and pass her some napkins to clean herself off with. Okay. Glad so I can satisfy you with my wifely duties. Her eyes are playful as she looks at me. I can't help but think I chose right. At least for today. Don't worry. She reaches out and touches my chin. She must have seen something in my eyes that gave away my troubled thoughts. I know this doesn't guarantee anything about what you might decide tomorrow, but it was a good time. I wake with a jolt. Their last day. It's the last day with both of the women here, and you're going to sleep through it? When I come to my senses, I realize I'm alone. My heart trips over itself as panic sets in. Did I miss it? Did I miss the time when they were set to go back, and they both left without consulting me? I lift my head to the couch. I realize my house smells really good. There you are. We didn't wake you up, did we? I've almost got Ariel trained so that she stops doing that. I'm improving. She gives me a thumbs up while my heart rate gradually slows, and all the worries that build up slowly disappear. What's that smell? Dinner. We thought maybe it was our turn to cook for you. Which was eventful. Ariel set the kitchen on fire. Ah, I did not. I set a paper towel on fire, which was no big deal at all. She places her hands on her hips. Oh, don't turn this around on me anyway. You were the one who put me in charge of the paper towels. If you didn't want them to catch on fire, then maybe you should have delegated better. Leona sighs. You're right. I should have realized paper towel duty was too much responsibility for you. I slept through all of this. It wasn't a big deal. Yeah, the true disaster would be when you try your terrible cooking. Hopefully Leona is as good as cleaning up projectile vomit as she is at putting out small fires. Don't talk about a projectile product when we're about to eat. It's bad enough I had to eat my own food. I don't need any extra incentive not to like it. Hey boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Alright. I am going to pause this episode here. I have no idea what part we're on. How do I oh, it's this. I have no idea what part we're on, and quite frankly, I don't care anymore. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next part. Jackass, out!